NASCAR put on quite a show this past weekend in Zoomtown, USA, Phoenix, Arizona. Now it's off to Vegas, where the Gen 6 car will face its next challenge, the mile and a half. And we've got Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford Fusion, here to talk about it. That, plus an opportunity for you to meet Joey, coming up later in the show. Clean Air starts right now. Welcome to Clean Air, the show where you can keep track of what's going on with Fuel for Success, the program that gives kids the opportunity to experience the exciting world of motorsports and more. I'm your host, Miguel Lombana, and as you've just heard, I've got some exciting news on how you can meet Joey coming up later in this episode. But first, let's get right to it. I've got Joey on the phone, and he's taken a couple of minutes to talk to us before he heads west to Las Vegas for this weekend's Cobalt Tools 400. So Joey, I know you're busy getting ready for Vegas, and I don't want to hold you up, so how about we get right to some questions from our Clean Air viewers?
All right, let's do it. Sounds good.
Excellent. So the first question we've got is, when you're not racing, what's your favorite thing to be doing?
Pretty much my whole life is racing, but, really fun for me is going to ride my four-wheeler or going go-kart or something like that. So it really is still kind of racing for me even when I'm not racing.
So you recently transitioned to Penske Racing. What kind of pressure were you feeling, or maybe are still feeling, moving over to a new racing organization like Penske?
Well, there's always pressure in anything, especially in sports, professional sports. You want to go out there and win races, and obviously when you're driving for an amazing company like Shell Pennzoil, and you're driving for an amazing, remarkable person like Roger Penske, you want to go out there and produce, obviously, and no one's going to want to go out there and win more than me. So we're doing everything we can to improve what we got. And, and finding every little nook and cranny we can do to build these cars a little faster. And, we're looking forward to getting to Vegas this weekend. I feel like we should have a good piece there. We'll have a little bit of a test there. We'll get there a day earlier, and we'll have a little test day so we can play with our car and try to find some things that work with it.
Well, you had an amazing opportunity just a few weeks back to drive the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford Fusion around the streets of Charlotte. What kind of a rush was that?
It was pretty cool. It's not every day you get to, drive a race car down the middle of the street of a city like that in Charlotte and be able to do burnouts and stuff like that and not get in trouble. Like, that's pretty awesome. So we had a blast with that. All the Ford drivers took their race cars down the middle of the street in Charlotte, and we had a good old time, to say the least. So, and we didn't get in trouble, so heck yeah.
Well, speaking of the Gen 6 car, you've had an opportunity now to drive it at a couple of different tracks. You drove it at the Super Speedway at Daytona, short track here in Phoenix, and now you're going into Vegas, which is a mile and a half. What's your overall impression of the Gen 6 car?
So far, so good. I think the race in Phoenix went pretty good. I think there's always some adjustments we can always make on the cars to make them better. But I think there's also a lot of things the teams are going to do to improve their cars in traffic and make their race. I think it'll automatically make the racing better. But we'll have to change some things in our car that I found during our race that can help, being behind a car and keeping our balance of our car fairly close. So I think this weekend here will be another really big test. It's the first mile and a half track with the Gen 6 car. And, that's going to be a really big test on what the aero package is going to be, especially when you're around cars.
So Joey, the Fuel for Success program is all about the kids, and you yourself got started racing at a very early age. If there were any words of wisdom that you'd like to impart on some of the kids who are watching this episode right now who want to be in your shoes one day, what would they be?
It's a lot of hard work, but my advice every time someone asks is make sure you have fun with it, especially when you're a younger age. It's supposed to be for fun, like any other sport is when you're young. And once you get to a certain level, that's when it becomes a job. And I'm fortunate enough to have the coolest job in the world, if you ask me. I think it's awesome, and I make sure I enjoy that every day. But I also realize that it is a lot of work. But I think as a younger kid, have fun with it. You're getting to drive a race car and take a car to its edge. Not everyone gets to do that or have the opportunity to do that, so make sure you enjoy it.
So Joey, here's a great viewer question. Does Joey Logano have any quirky pre-race activities or rituals?
I don't. I pretty much before the race, I do my appearances. I'll get ready with my team, kind of get a good game plan and what our strategy is going to be. Make sure all my ducks in a row and shoot up and go. And nothing crazy for me.
Well, hey, you mentioned Vegas, and that's coming up this weekend. You know, fantasy racing has come to NASCAR. If you were putting a fantasy team together, who'd be on it?
So,
Yourself?
yeah, I think that'd be a good one to have. I always go into these races thinking I can win these things. So, that's the attitude you got to have. But I also think guys are going to be fast. Obviously, Brad was fast last week. And I would put those Gibbs cars on there. They're pretty fast. Throughout the test and Phoenix, I thought their cars are pretty fast. As long as they stay together, I think they're pretty good.
So how are you feeling about Vegas this weekend?
I think we're going to be good. After we're taking a new car there, we'll see how it handles and what we can do with it. It's the best piece we got. So you're hoping it's going to be good enough, unless we really go back to the drawing table and find some more. But I think it should be a good car. And also we have to know that, still being with this new Gen 6 car, there's going to be a lot to learn as a team, and also working with, new crew chief and all of us. We got to keep working on that communication and making that better.
So I have one more question for you, and this one comes from J-Lo, not that J-Lo.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Lopez from Colton Middle School in Colton, California. What inspired you to be a professional race car driver?
I wasn't good at anything else. So something I was decent at. I really enjoy driving race cars. Like I said, taking cars to an edge in a competitive atmosphere is something I just really love doing. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to take that to the extreme and move up to your levels at a young age and get to live out my dream. It's definitely a dream come true. I realize that. But really, I've tried other sports when I was younger, and I didn't enjoy them, and I wasn't good at them. So it's one thing I found and stuck with it. So I'm hoping it works out. There's no backup plan for me.
Well, Joey, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and talk to us here on Clean Air right before you head on out to Vegas. We know your time is extremely valuable, so we definitely appreciate it. And we definitely want to see that number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford Fusion in Victory Lane this weekend. So best of luck to you.
All right, thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Joey. Really appreciate it. So you heard me mention at the start of the show that you can have the opportunity to meet Joey. Well, here are the details. Joey's going to be attending the Inland Valley SWAT Fuel for Success kickoff event for 2013. It's all happening March 21st at Colton High School in Colton, California. So if you're in the area or plan on being in the area, make sure you stop by. You can get an autograph, maybe meet some of Joey's teammates, and check out some amazing demos that'll be put on by the Inland Valley Regional SWAT Team. For more information, just visit us at fuelforsuccess.org or on our Facebook page at Fuel for Success. So that's it for this episode. Special thanks to Joey Logano for calling in, and we look forward to seeing you at the track. For Clean Air, I'm your host, Miguel Lombana.